In 1994, the Soviet Union abandoned a hole so deep it was literally boiling. Scientists spent 24 years drilling toward the center of the Earth before suddenly fleeing. What they found at 40,000 feet was never supposed to exist. Why did they weld the hole shut? The real story starts with a race that no one wanted to lose. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly why the Earth's crust is actually leaking. This is the Kola Borehole. It is the deepest man-made point on the planet. For decades, it was the most secretive project in the world, but the deeper they went, the weirder the physics became. In the 1960s, the space race was all over the news, but beneath the surface, a different race was happening. The US and the USSR were competing to reach the moho. This is the boundary where the Earth's crust ends and the mantle begins. But the Soviets had a secret weapon. They built the Euromash 15,000, a massive drilling rig in the middle of the Arctic Circle. This wasn't just a drill, it was a laboratory on wheels. They wanted to go 15 kilometers down. Nobody thought the rock would fight back, but the deeper they went, the more the Earth seemed to resist. At 23,000 feet, things were normal, but as they passed 30,000 feet, the temperature spiked. It reached 180 degrees Celsius, which is nearly 400 degrees Fahrenheit. This was double what they predicted. The rock wasn't solid anymore, it was behaving like something else entirely. Here is the first part that sounds made up. At that depth, the rock wasn't hard, it was plastic. Because of the intense pressure and heat, the granite flowed like warm chewing gum. Every time they pulled the drill out, the hole would start to squeeze shut, but that wasn't the scary part. They found water, 7 miles beneath the surface, where it was supposed to be bone dry. They found hot, mineral-rich liquid. Scientists were baffled. How could water exist under that much pressure? It was as if the Earth was sweating, and then, they found signs of life. They discovered microscopic fossils of single-celled organisms 24,000 feet down. These fossils were 2 billion years old. How did surface-level life end up miles beneath the granite? It defied every geological law they knew, but the deeper they pushed, the more the equipment began to fail in strange ways. This is where the legend of the well to hell began. Rumors spread that the scientists lowered a heat-resistant microphone into the depths. They claimed to hear the screams of millions of people. The story went viral globally, but the truth of what they actually heard is much more unsettling for scientists. They didn't hear ghosts, they heard the sound of the Earth's crust shifting under impossible stress. The acoustic data was so chaotic that it sounded like a distorted choir. It was the sound of the planet literally groaning under the weight of itself. And then, the drill bit hit a pocket of gas. The mud coming out of the hole was boiling with hydrogen gas. It was so concentrated it looked like a massive, underground explosion was imminent. This wasn't supposed to be there. The deeper they went, the more they realized they didn't understand the ground they stood on. The drills were melting, even the strongest steel became soft like butter at those temperatures. They were spending millions of dollars just to replace the equipment every few days. The project was becoming a financial black hole, but there's one detail nobody mentions: the rock wasn't just hot, it was radioactive. The deeper layers were unexpectedly radioactive. This added a layer of danger the scientists hadn't prepared for. They were literally digging into a hot, glowing mystery. What I haven't told you yet is the part that makes everything worse. The Soviet Union was collapsing while this was happening. By 1992, the money was gone, the Soviet Union had fallen, and the new government didn't care about a hole in the ground. But they didn't just stop, they waited 2 more years. Why? Because something happened in the depths that made the workers refuse to go back down. There are reports of unexplained vibrations that shook the entire facility, not earthquakes, but rhythmic pulses coming from the bottom of the 40,000-foot shaft. It was as if the hole was breathing. The crew became paranoid. They felt like they had poked something that was better left alone. In 1994, they finally stopped. They didn't just turn off the lights, they welded a thick steel cap over the hole. They abandoned the entire site, leaving millions of dollars of machinery to rust in the snow. Today, that cap is the only thing between us and the deep. If you go there today, you can stand on the cap. It's only 9 inches wide. It's crazy to think that beneath your feet is a 7.5-mile drop into a boiling, plastic world. But the real secret isn't what's in the hole, it's what the hole told us about our future. The Kola Borehole proved that the Earth's crust is much more fragile and complex than we thought. We used to think the crust was like a solid brick, now we know it's more like a sponge filled with boiling water and gas. This changes how we predict earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Geology textbooks had to be rewritten. The discovery of water in fossils at those depths suggested that the Earth's internal cycle is much more connected to the surface than previously believed. We aren't just living on top of the Earth, we are part of its deep, breathing system. This discovery even changed how we look for life on other planets. If life can exist 7 miles deep in boiling Russian granite, it could exist deep inside Mars or Europa. We were looking at the stars, but the answers were under our fingernails. But why stop at 40,000 feet? We stopped because we hit a physical limit. Our current technology cannot handle the plastic nature of the deep crust. It's like trying to drill a hole in a bowl of soup. The deeper you go, the faster the Earth heals itself. We are literally locked out by physics. The cost was also a factor. To go just 1 mile deeper would have cost more than the entire project combined. It was the most expensive nothing in history, or was it? Some scientists believe the data they gathered is worth more than gold. We have sent people to the moon and rovers to Mars, but we have only scratched 0.1% of our own planet's thickness. We are like ants crawling on the skin of an apple, never knowing what the core looks like. The Kola Borehole was our only real peek inside. What if the rumors were right? Not about hell, but about the danger. Some researchers argue that drilling the deep could release ancient gases that haven't seen the surface in billions of years. We were playing with a pressure cooker that we didn't know how to turn off. The decision to seal the hole was a combination of fear, money, and failure. It remains a monument to human curiosity and its limits. We reached for the center of the Earth and the Earth pushed back, but the hole is still there, silent and dark, under that rusty cap. The solution to the mystery isn't supernatural. The dark secret is simply that the Earth is much more alive than we can imagine. It's a shifting, boiling, pressurized engine, and the Kola Borehole taught us that we are guests on a very thin, very hot crust. Someday, someone will try again. We will develop new materials that can survive the heat. We will finally see what lies beneath the plastic rock. But for now, the deepest hole in the world is just a memory in a ruined Russian town. Next time you walk outside, remember, there is a 7-mile deep scar in the Arctic that proves we barely know the ground we walk on. The Earth still has secrets, and some are better left sealed. Keep looking down, you never know what's looking back up.